Folks, please make sure that your cell phones are off.
I'm going to give you a mic stand if you want. Although, let me see. See, it's so noisy. Why is it so noisy?
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our pre-service meditation. Okay. Okay. Anyway, my name is Sharon Tice. I'm your practitioner of the day. Welcome, everyone. Let us sit quietly and easily in our chairs. Please relax your body and scan your body for any areas of tension and focus on relaxing those areas. Place your feet flat on the floor, feeling the energy of Mother Earth coming up through the floor, into your feet, and up through your body. Close your eyes or keep a soft gaze. Feel the energy coming down from your crown chakra and flowing down throughout all of your chakras throughout your body. Loving kindness decreases our self-criticism. It quiets our inner critic. makes us more self-accepting and accepting of others, and improves the quality of our lives. Choose one person, be it a friend, someone whom you don't know well, or especially someone with whom you are having some difficulty. Envision that person sitting in front of you and smiling at you. Imagine a white light connecting that person's heart to your own, and focus on feelings of warmth and affection. Focus on the phrase, "May I be well, happy, and peaceful," feeling that warmth of loving kindness filling your body. May I be well, happy, and peaceful. Send those feelings of the warmth of loving kindness to the other person, focusing on, may you be well, happy, and peaceful. May you be well, happy, and peaceful. Now radiate that light to include all beings, from the smallest insect to the largest animal, and then out into the universe, and recite, "May all beings be well, happy, and peaceful. May all beings be well, happy, and peaceful." Note the feelings of warmth within your body and the universal friendliness that is reflected in your heart. And let us finish with focusing on, may we all be well, happy, and peaceful. May all beings be well, happy, and peaceful. And then turn your attention to your body, noticing your feelings, the presence of peace. And when you are ready, slowly open your eyes and return to the room. Namaste.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Pardon me while I enjoy a sip of coffee. I'm just thinking about those, how great it is. And if you're like me, you're 6'4", named Jackson. And if you're like me, you get the comfort of the universe. It comes in waves. Like I don't have it 24/7, but when I get it, I'm like, oh, it feels so good. When the universe is like, I got you, man. I totally got you. And it seems to be those moments for me, again, that when you're connected to where nature just is like the evidence, you know. True story. I once said to God, I said, well, can you give me a sign, please? And God showed me a tree. I was like, 100% true. Yes, that's amazing. But I can't go and tell anyone that like a burning bush, okay? I'll be like, God's real, man. There's a tree. People will be like, okay. Anyway, this song is about being, I think this song reminds us of the universe saying, I gotcha, and I'm going to show you through nature. Bob's not here, which breaks my heart. As you know. I know. He sent me a message saying he wasn't going to be here, so I said, I'm canceling Sunday if you're not going to be here. But you know who is here? Sky Conwell is here to sing today. And Tracy is going to give an incredible talk today. She always does, so that's not saying anything. But her topic today is about the great choice, living from cause or effect, so I know I'm going to get something out of that. So I have to be the boss, I guess. Well, everyone, if you want, stand up and clap your hands, tap your toes, you know. This is a Bob Marley song. It's called Three Little Birds. Sing this with me. I don't worry about a thing. Sounds so good. 'Cause every little thing is alright. I don't worry about a thing. 'Cause every little thing is alright. I rise up this morning, I smile at the rising sun, the sweet little birds beside my doorstep, they're singing sweet songs of melody pure and true, singing that this is my message to you. I don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is alright. No, I don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is alright. I rise up this morning, I smile at the rising sun, the sweet little birds beside my doorstep, they're singing sweet songs of melody pure and true, singing this is my message to you. I said I don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is alright. I said I don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is alright. I said I don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is alright. Said I don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is alright. guys sound amazing this morning, by the way. Amazing.
Amazing.
Love it.
Brilliantly bright. That's what you are. Brilliantly bright. I have some good news. So this will be the last Sunday I'm tied to here. I'll be able to walk again. We are getting a new high quality headset, speaker, microphone. So I'm so excited for that to be coming in. So then you'll see me running across the stage again with eager anticipation. But for today, you'll have me here at the podium. So that's lovely. But welcome to Centers for Prescott. That's not quite right. Centers for Spiritual Living Prescott. We're so happy to have you here. We are a loving, inclusive community dedicated to helping you connect with your inner power and live a life of joy, peace, and purpose. Here, we honor all paths to the divine and celebrate the unique expression of spirit in each person. If you're seeking growth, connection, or a place to truly be celebrated, you have found the right place. Together, we are enlightening our community for the good of humanity, one individual at a time. So thank you so much for being here. We also have our beloved practitioners. If they are present and working and open for prayer with our members today, would you please stand so we can see who you are? Hazel, Mel, and we have Sharon. So these are your practitioners on duty today. Practitioners are trained spiritual leaders dedicated to supporting you through prayer and spiritual guidance. They're here to help transform your challenges into opportunities for growth. If you're in need of a quick spiritual lift or just something to continue your beautiful week with, please ask at the end of service about our 3-minute miracle, a brief prayer that will shift your energy and your perspective and send you off into the week for a higher sense of consciousness and self-awareness. So after the service, if you want a 3-minute miracle, which I always highly suggest, please stay seated, and everyone else, get the heck out. I'm kidding. We'll ring the bell 4 times, and it'll give you time to exit the sanctuary. And I just ask that you do that quietly for those that are sitting and waiting to be in that space or that energy with the practitioners. And if we could do that quietly and as quickly as possible, I would greatly appreciate it. And so would the folks that remain for a quick chat with our practitioners. Something you might have noticed, we've put up some more art. We've moved the Science of Mind symbol over here. We are actually ordering a plaque so that it has more information. So when new folks come in, they can really understand what that teaching symbol means and how we utilize it to explain how things become manifest. We're actually going to be moving it above up here at the door. It's going to have its own space and a light shining on it with the plaque so that it can, as you walk underneath it, you know, it is a really expressive symbol, but unless you have taken a class, you might not be aware of what it means, and your practitioners can answer that question for you too. It is a very coveted symbol and really does express what we teach in a very wonderful way. So read with me the affirmation for this beautiful Sunday. Here we go. I am a divine being. My nature is clarity, calmness, harmony, and love. I accept everyone for who they are. My body is healthy and whole. And if you are joining us from online, we welcome you as well. Seated in the comfort of your own home, we love you. Please come see us in person sometimes. But please, we just want you to know that we are grateful as well that you have joined us online. Thank you.
everyone. Let us pray. For what I know is that there is only the one, the truth, the Spirit, the God, whatever name the world gives it, it is all that there is. And that being, that Spirit, that love is here with us this morning as we meet. And we are all a part of that one. So for today, let us focus on loving kindness, gentleness, and the spirit of gratitude. For we are grateful for what Spirit brings forth in our lives. And as we change our thinking, our lives change so much. And I know that today is the perfect day. And for this, I am truly grateful as I release my word unto the law of that one, knowing that as I do, it is so, and so it is.
It's a song called Nothing More. Sing along. To be humble, to be kind, it is the giving of the peace of your mind. To a stranger, to a friend, to give in such a way that has no end. We are love, we are one, we are how we treat each other when the day is done. We are peace, we are warm, we are how we treat each other. Nothing more. To be bold, to be brave, it is the thinking that I don't need to be saved. But the darkness can come quick, the danger in the anger and the holding on to it. We are love, we are one, we are how we treat each other when the day is done. We are peace, we are war, we are how we treat each other, nothing more. We are love, we are one, we are how we treat each other when the day is done. We are peace, we are war, we are how we treat each other, nothing more. We are how we treat each other, nothing more. We are how we treat each other, nothing more.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jackson. That was beautiful. Today, our reading is coming from the September 2023 Science of Mind magazine. It was an article by Swati Sen, which starts with a saying by Rumi. Why are we struggling with each other? Why is one light running away from another light so much? And so when our minds developed a false perception of boundaries, we cannot see our interconnectedness. We divide ourselves along lines of geography, religion, race, caste, gender, and all kinds of irrationality. We become the perpetrators of hate, violence, corruption, and cowardice. This is no one's loss but our own, as we fail to fulfill the purpose of being human. We casually toss about the word love in all of our relationships, and for all selfish reasons, from seeking validation to expecting a favor in return. It seems as if true love and empathy are endangered species. Kindness has gotten an asterisk. Conditions apply. Relationships flourishing in the social media world also have an asterisk. Filters apply. Does that mean selfless spiritual love doesn't exist? No, it does not. Selfless spiritual love, too deep to define and too shy to come out to the forefront, exists where our joy lies in giving joy, where empathy is our core nature, where the bond is defined by the freedom it carries. Far beyond the boundaries of jealousy, insecurities, or materialistic intentions, such love incorporates the power to heal and the wisdom to grow. So let's take a couple of moments to reflect on those words. Thank you. And now let us ask the candlelighters to approach. The Center for Spiritual Living Prescott, guided by the science of mind, acknowledges the diverse faiths and spiritual traditions that enrich our world. Each belief system offers a distinct understanding of the mysteries of existence and a unique connection with the divine. Lighting these candles symbolizes our collective reverence for the diverse paths that humans take in search of meaning and purpose. In this shared moment, we affirm and celebrate the multiplicity of the human experience. And so we light a candle for Christianity, based on the teachings of Jesus the Christ, who taught the path of love, forgiveness, and healing by the presence within. For Islam and its teaching and belief in the one and only God, creator of the heaven and earth. And for Judaism, a community of shared laws, traditions, and family ties, which began with the covenant between Abraham and God. For Buddhism, the middle path of non-attachment that ends suffering. For Hinduism, the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. For the traditions of indigenous people everywhere, and their close and sacred connections to the earth, sky, and waters. For Baha'i, the path of unity and peace. For the goddess traditions celebrating the power and wisdom of the feminine energies, including nature and nurture. and for the science of mind, a philosophy of life that teaches there is a power for good in the universe, and we can use it. And so let us read our affirmation together. I am here for God. My purpose is to express the nature of God as love, abundance, and joy in everything I do. The good I seek for myself is what I desire for all people everywhere.
May God bless you and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for us. Let others do for you. May you build a ladder to the stars and climb on every rung. May you stay forever young. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever young. May you grow up to be righteous. May you grow up to be true. May you always know the truth and see the light surrounding you. May you always be courageous, stand upright and be strong. May you stay forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever young. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. May your heart always be joyful. May your song always be sung. May you stay forever young. Say it with me now. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever young. Thank you, Jackson.
I love that song. Thank you. I had Luke visualized in my mind. You know, sometimes when he runs, he has this really wispy hair, and he's just like running for you. And I'm like, come back. We were here yesterday, and Bill was out doing the yard work, and Luke slipped out the door, and Bill was up on the main there trimming the weeds, and all I could see was this little head bobbing. I'm like, no. And then I saw Papa. This is how our mind works. You know, we get a little worried, and then we realize Papa's there, save the day. We were driving up here today, and Luke wanted to go see his Nana. And I said, hey, Luke, I have a question for you. No response. Luke, I have a question for you. No response. And so I start, typing, finishing up some items with the talk, and I hear, Nana, I thought you had a question for me. And I go, did he just say that? He's 3. He just turned 3. And I said, yes, I do. And he goes, well, what is it? I'm waiting. And I go, church or Nanny Yvette? And he was like, Nanny Yvette, you go to church. I'm going to see my Abby, which is his little auntie. And I go, okay, great choice. And he goes, is that all the questions now? I mean, you know, he cracks me up. He keeps me laughing, having fun, and it's such a joy. So I thought I'd bring you these little stories in place of a joke once in a while. But I also have a video that I am going to kick off the talk with, and it is very much on the topic. It is something that I shared with the practitioners and also found very profoundly moving in my own life. So I wanted to share it with you. Clay, can you play the video for us?
There are 2 ways to live your life, and which of these 2 ways you choose will impact the quality of your entire life. You either live your life at cause or you live your life at effect. Let me explain what I mean. So I vaguely remember at school them teaching cause effect, but I hated physics, so I didn't really follow it. Something about you hit a hammer and the effect is the sound and the cause is the hitting of the hammer. But here's broadly what it means in our everyday life, and this is just a critical distinction. Most people, and it's about 95 to 98% of the population, most people live their lives at effect. In other words, the quality of their life, they believe, is the effect of stuff outside of them. So we're seeing a very good example of this at the moment with all the chaos globally in the economies across the world. And when you watch the news and when you hear people speaking about it, everyone's trying to convince you that your life, the quality of your financial life, depends on what other people are doing. Governments, banks, mortgage companies, and all the rest of them. So most people live their financial lives completely at the effect of everybody else. Many people also live their lives generally and believe that the problems in their life are caused by other people, their upbringing, their parents, and so on and so forth. So that's living life at effect. If you live your life at effect, obviously whether or not you have a good day depends completely on other people and what they do. The other way of living your life is to live your life at cause. Live your life at cause means you are responsible for your life and for all the key elements in it. Sure, there are major impacts and there are major influences, but ultimately you are responsible. If you meet very successful people, a very successful business person, a very successful sports person, a very successful parent, someone who's succeeded at doing amazing things with their health or their weight, they will get to that point where they took total responsibility. The thing about taking responsibility is on the one hand, initially, it's a little frustrating because it's so easy, isn't it? And doesn't it feel better initially to just blame everybody else? It's not my fault, it's everybody else's fault. I haven't got enough money in the bank, it's someone else's fault. Yeah, but what if actually I took responsibility and realized that actually there were things I could do to influence this? And sure, the world's gonna affect me, but I'm gonna be so strong and so powerful. I actually did this very early on in my career, 20-something years ago. I had huge debt. I managed to rack up like 6-figure debt. And look at the bank statement, and it was always negative for the overdraft. Everybody was chasing me for this money, and I was blaming everybody. It was my customer's fault, or it was the economy's fault, or so on. And I had a big, long list of people to blame, because of course that feels better at the time, because then it's other people's fault, and so I don't have to address it myself. But you know, there was this moment in time, I remember looking at this bank statement with all the minus signs on it, and thought, what if you are totally responsible for your world? And the moment I did that, it was kind of painful short term, because taking on that responsibility isn't the easiest thing in the world. But over time, it was the single most liberating thing, certainly financially, that I did in my life. And so we all have an ongoing decision to make, whether we're living our life at effect or at cause. And I do think that if we could spread the word about this, for example, kids should be taught this, because that's not what they're being told. They're being told they're victims. They're being told they're victims of this, that, and the other, and everything. And it's not that there are bad forces. And by the way, I'm not talking in any way about justifying people treating you bad or anything like that. But I'm talking about you claiming your power. And you claim that power. You cannot be powerful as a human being if your entire existence is in other people's hands, economies, partners, the person you work for, your work colleagues, whatever that long list consists of. So making that shift from living our life at effect to living at cause is one of the biggest life shifts any of us can make. Please follow me on here, and I'll share more advanced thinking tips with you. And please share this video.
So here's what I have to say about that. It was a little lengthy, I know, but here's what I have to say. I agree with him, and there was so much in that little clip that it really touched me. And what it did for me was for me to sit down and think about the choices that I have and how I've been living but not just living, but thinking. And thinking is, we can have expanded thinking, or we can have progressive thinking, where we open up to the dynamics of what's going on in our lives and how we're moving. I often use the word orientation, our orientation towards situations that arise. And as I started to write, I made a list of cause and effect, where I thought I was living at cause and where I felt I was living at effect. And the effect list seemed a little bit longer. So I have been meditating and really thinking about this. And I was shown very early on, by the person that I study with, in a very gentle way, that there was a lot of victimization in my orientation, and that it really wasn't my fault. It was the way I was groomed. It was the way I was raised. It was the way my parents thought, and that's how they were raised. And a little bit of that memory surfaced last week when we were talking about the math teacher, and I thought a lot about that. As a little kid, how you take on those messages, but you don't really think as an adult that little kid is still living inside of there, meeting certain situations that reminisce to that old memory. And if you go check him out, he has a great video on how to reconcile old memories. And one of the things that he says is, we take these old memories, and when we bring them to our mind, that our body doesn't know that we are reliving it like it's happening now. And if we start to become self-aware, we can feel the constriction and the same feelings that we felt when we were young. And that's what brings the emotions. And that we make a Spielberg production out of what's in our mind. And we are right back in that memory, so we can't really be in reality. And those two things don't really go together. Freedom is in reality. Freedom is in the situation that is occurring. And the choice is our response to what's happening. And our mind is geared towards saying, this is happening to me, instead of it's just happening. And we take it on as it's happening to us. Now, I know, like he said, there are circumstances in the world, and we are susceptible to some not so nice things. And so this isn't about being a doormat. This isn't about, allowing people to treat us however they want to treat us. But one thing that happens is when we start to live at cause, we are able to meet the situation in a compassionate and loving way, because you've met yourself in a passionate and loving way. Ernest Holmes says, you cannot stop the forward march of the human mind. All great minds have taught that we are in our essence divine. So you cannot stop the forward march of the human mind. You can't. It's its nature to do what it does. All great minds have taught that we are in our essence divine, meaning that there's a true and whole part of us, and it isn't our thinking. Our thinking creates the stories about what happened, and it takes us out of the curiosity of finding out what really was going on, what really that situation was starting to show us. So my thought was, well, are you telling me I can never be mean again? I mean, sometimes I just like to be mean to a situation that might be offending me. And and what came back was, am I just supposed to stand around and take it? I mean, come on. What about that coworker who always steals my lunch from the fridge? Well, you know, while living at cause doesn't mean that you, again, let people walk all over you. But it does mean that you take responsibility for how you respond and the energy that you bring to the situation. That's what I found so fascinating about that. It's the question I've been asking myself. What energy am I bringing to this situation? To my relationship with Bill, you know, and the kids. I mean, being 58 and raising 2 little young ones, we have a lot of energy in our house, and we have 2 different ways of doing things. I have read every parenting book, watched every parenting video on the market, and I'm always trying something new. And he just likes to do it his way. And I realized the energy that I was bringing was correcting or not approaching from curious, and it was putting me in a victim space as opposed to a sense of freedom. And what I recognized this morning is just be quiet. Just be quiet. So I had picked this outfit out for Esty, and he was like 24 months, and I go, well, she's a big girl, you know, let's put it on her. And so he put it on, and it didn't fit, and I go, oh, I guess I chose the wrong outfit. I go, there's a whole dresser full of clothes right there. And he goes, yeah, but you know, if I pick it out, you'll tell me it's the wrong one. And I'm like, I do, don't I? I'm sorry. You know what? Go ahead and dress her. If she wears, you know, green and yellow and orange, who am I to say that's not the correct outfit for her today? And I recognize that when we are living in effect and we are trying to control the situation, we're essentially constricted and trying to protect our feelings, and we don't want to be run over or taken advantage of. And there's so many messages in how we meet the world when we are in effect. It is a life an ego preservation strategy to live in effect. You can't hurt me. I don't want to be hurt. You know, whatever we're defending, and our opinions ring really loud, and then there's no receptiveness for the energy of the other person or the other situation that's going on as a whole. And often we are responding from that little person that's inside of us that we haven't processed yet, that we haven't began to mature or understand that these little people still live inside of us. And unless we take a moment, a lot of moments actually, to become more self-aware of how we're meeting situations, we are left to be victims without even knowing it, which happens quite often. So the question here is, when life challenges you, are you reacting to the situation or creating a response? Either way, if you're reacting or creating, the mind is still gearing. But once we learn to become self-aware and we take a big deep breath and we drop and we go within and we find out, we ask ourselves the question, oh, I feel a sense of constriction here, to ourselves. What is it that I feel is missing in this conversation or situation that is not, that I'm not being honored in some way, and how can I give that to myself? You know, an example, my partner makes me so mad. The universe must hate me. Every time I try to save money, the car breaks down. Well, you know, living out of fact is believing that life happens to you, that you're in a constant state of reaction to circumstances, people, and conditions. You know, the humorous twist about this is, so if you spilled coffee all over yourself on your way to work, would you say it's the coffee's fault? No. What about the cup's fault? No. What about the barista that handed you the cup of coffee? Is it her fault? No. The truth is that the coffee spilled. Now, I don't know about you, but if the coffee spills on me, I have a few things to say, and they're usually pretty loud, and I'm pretty mad, and but I recognize I'm mad at myself, and you know, it's okay because we meet life this way sometimes, so we also have to be a little easy with ourselves. But living out of effect often sounds like this: I would have a better day if the world just got its act together, so I could be okay. And the truth is, the world is just being the world. how we're thinking about the world is what's causing us to have a bad day. Ernest Holmes' spiritual perspective on this is, we are surrounded by an infinite law which says, as you think and believe, so it is done. If we believe we're victims of life, knowingly or unknowingly, we'll experience more reasons to feel like a victim. And when I say knowingly and unknowingly, there are a lot of orientations that we have that we walk through the world being, and we don't really have a self-awareness or an understanding because we've taken on these ways of being as preservation strategies. And until we stop to ask the question, God, why am I so fussy all the time? Right? Why, with Luke and the kids and chasing him around, and I could get kind of cranky. And Luke says to me, why are you so cranky? And I'm like, good question. Why am I so cranky? And I can think of a long laundry list of the things that he's doing that makes me cranky. And what I realized when I was writing this long laundry list after this 3-year-old asked me this question was, oh, he's just doing it. He's not doing it to me. I feel like he's doing it to me. And as we're cleaning up the toys, and I'm like, I have to pick up all your toys and put them away, and you're not helping me. And he was like, I'm playing. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm the one who bought him all the toys to pick up. But he's just playing. He's just in the now, in the moment. They have no awareness that there's him and the bear. That awareness hasn't come yet. There's just the bear. Right? There's just him witnessing. He hasn't distinctively seen that there's two. And when that happens to us, this is when the victim starts to arise. It's really kind of funny when we think about the great choice, because in life we talk a lot in our philosophy about choices, and I've met many teachers that say, you don't have as many choices as you think you do. That life is unfolding exactly the way it's unfolding. The choice is in how you meet it. The choice is in how self-aware you decide to be. The choice is in stopping and pausing and saying, do I feel good more often than I feel cranky or down or bad? Do I like for everything to go my way, and is that a preservation strategy for me to feel good based on what other people are doing or how they're moving in the world? Or can I stop and pause and see that everyone's doing their best, even in those moments when those bests don't feel so good for myself? We're surrounded by an infinite law, and that infinite law is always giving us what we want. Whether we know it or not, it is always bringing to us the energetic match. And sometimes that match is showing us, hey, you're off mark a little bit. And I don't know about you, but when I realize I'm off mark, I'm like, oh gosh, I did it again. I can really beat myself up. I can kind of get down on myself for not being spiritually perfect. Right? I can get really down on myself for going, God, that just snuck up on me and I did it again. And then I've started to become put into a practice of just breathing and going, oh God, there you go again. That perfectionism has arisen in a totally different way. And so what if you got it wrong? My teacher Reba used to tell me, don't worry about it. You don't have to hit the mark every time, because there's always another situation that'll come that'll show you haven't hit the mark, and you'll get another chance. And when you give yourself more chances, you also give other people the opportunity to work through their stuff. And, he talked a little bit about boundaries, and boundaries have even shifted meaning in pausing sometimes when we perceive that somebody is not being so nice to us or not giving us what we want, or they're not showing appreciation. It's our job to say, hey, I'd like a little appreciation for that. Hey, that doesn't sound so nice. Did you really mean to say that to me? And what happens is that person stops and they come out of their story. And then what happens is this great revelation unfolds most often that there's more to talk about than what each other was thinking and how they collide. Where do you in your life find yourself often saying, if only, or they made me feel this way? I know I picked that up when I was young, and I carried it a long time with bosses and jobs. And, as things get harder, my go-to is, I'm done. Like, I'm over it. And I realized, that's just another way of playing victim. And that when I step into my spiritual truth, that brilliant light, and the mind goes quiet, and I say to myself, okay, Tracy, write down what you want to accomplish. And I write it down. And I ask myself, okay, what's the spiritual principle here that can help me be in alignment with this to move forward? And the reality is that treat and move your feet is the action that you take so that spirit brings you more of what you're thinking about. So when you are moving your feet, when you are in action, you are telling the universe, hey, I want to achieve this goal that I keep going back on. And you start to see that Tracy can't achieve anything. But what the choice is in the livingness, in the moment, in the present, is putting it down, putting it all down to say, hey, here is my desire. And the universe always wants to fulfill our desires. How can I be in causation? Because that's what we teach. And it's not even being in causation. It's the realization that you are causation. And the story is the victimization and the effect and all the things that prevent you from seeing that you are causation. And that shifted for me as well, is like, I am causation, right? And even when the mind gets a hold of that, it thinks it's something that we have to be or do or say. But the reality is, when the thinking stops, even for a moment, the causation is the stillness that allows the openness for the new idea to come through, for you to move in a separate direction. It brings the right people in the right places for that energetic match. When we talk about living at cause and a proactive life, living at cause means taking responsibility. That's a choice for your life. I didn't always know how to take responsibility. Not just for your actions, but also your energy, your mindset, and your intentions. A reactive response could be, this person is so annoying, I can't deal with them anymore. Living at cause says, what kind of energy am I bringing to this conversation, and how am I approaching it? Yes, that means you might have to stop blaming the traffic for your bad mood, and maybe stop yelling at slow drivers. What if you approached the traffic and thought, this is a gift, time to practice the presence? Or better yet, time to listen to the podcast you love that brings you some new insights or information. When I paused the other day, this idea came to me that says, Divine, take my thoughts and replace them with yours so that I may always be present to whatever is occurring in my life and meet it with the love that you have showed me that I am. That is my affirmation for myself, so that I can truly understand that the story takes me away from the reality that God is, that life is, that the universe is. Freedom through responsibility is living at cause. It shifts you from powerlessness to powerful. Instead of saying, I can't believe my coworker is so rude, you might ask, how can I set a boundary while staying calm and kind? The mind is a magnet, and we attract that which the mind is a magnet, and we attract that which we identify with. If you identify as a co-creator, then you are in alignment with the universe through our philosophies and principles. You align with the universal's infinite potential to bring you everything that you need, even if it's a change of orientation of the way you see the world. I don't know about you, but I know when I'm cranky, and sometimes I don't know until after. Sometimes I'm cranky and walking away and I go, oh my God, I did it again. And I want to go try and fix it and make phone calls and talk to people and apologize. And the true apology is becoming self-aware and implementing the practices that shift your orientation, that take you out of the story, and even if for a moment brings you into the presence, because that's all there is to respond the next situation a little more differently than the one that you were blaming yourself for. It yields self-compassion and self-love. Because no matter how much you try to change, if you do not learn self-compassion, self-love, and self-awareness, you will always be asking yourself, how do I do this differently? Well, how you do it differently is to take action. One small shift, one small situation. Just notice, become aware. Just notice when you're blaming external circumstances. Something like this. I can't believe I'm stuck behind this slow person at the grocery store. If you're trying to leave a grocery store and you know you got to get somewhere and you have a tendency to run late, just pause and ask yourself, how am I letting this impact my peace? How am I letting this take me out of the peace that I am? Wherever I'm going, I will get there, and whatever results yield for me being late, they're going to be there, whether you are blaming yourself or not. Reframe your thinking. Instead of saying, why does this always happen to me? What's the opportunity here? If a colleague is constantly interrupting you, instead of saying, out of frustration, how can I express my needs? Instead of saying things out of frustration, you can ask, how can I express my needs clearly in this situation? I know that's one that I'm practicing a lot. I like to interrupt people. I've noticed that I'm a talker, and the energy baton isn't always shifting back and forth. And so I have visually captured in my mind this energetic baton, and when I'm passing it to the other person, I notice my like a dog that wants his bone. I'm waiting for the baton to come back. And what I noticed is I cannot be present to the conversation or to the words of the other person if I'm waiting for that baton to come back. And I'm so eagerly writing notes because I have idea about what you're saying. In the present moment, when we become active listeners through practice and self-compassion and self-love, what happens is the self hears everything and out comes the response. And we let go of the thinking and we realize that we are presence. You don't have to practice the presence. You don't have to invoke the presence. You are the presence overlaid with the story of the mind trying to get its way and always has something important to say. Always. Come on, I don't know about you, but don't you always have something important to say? Everybody does. And that's okay, because this is how we've always gotten along. Take inspired action. Responsibility doesn't mean passivity, it means meaningful action. If you've been living paycheck to paycheck, instead of thinking, I never get ahead, start budgeting. Brainstorming ways to increase your income. I know starting new things is really hard. When I moved from not budgeting, I had to move out of victimization to actually even write something on a piece of paper. And what I recognized is when I started budgeting, more money started showing up because my attention started going to how to increase this. And so the law started working for me. But when I was in fear, I was afraid to look at any of it. And I just stayed in the same situation, reliving that loop over and over again. So I know from direct example that one works. Use humor and stay lighthearted. Yes, living at cause might mean you stop giving everyone around you a free pass to ruin your day. Okay, well, so what? But here's the good news. You stop ruining your own day. Isn't that good news? That's good news, yeah? Amen? Practice faith. Remind yourself that the universe is your partner in creation. The affirmation of the day would be, I'm in harmony with the infinite good of the universe. I mean, if we say that until we embody it, until we move from it, until we live from it, and then we start to see, and it's a practice. We have to have time, consistency, compassion, self-love. We have to really desire the inward change. And I'm only reflecting on conversations with other people because, we usually talk about things that we're going through. And all of us want to be better people. We want to be better listeners. We want to embody the spiritual principles that we teach. And it's a long journey for some of us sometimes. But the reality is, if you're thinking about it, you can set the intention and let the journey begin. And once that happens, Spirit always shows the way. So yes, this might mean you have to stop blaming your dog for peeing on the floor, or your coworker, or Mercury in retrograde for how you feel. But it also means that you get to experience true freedom, true joy. So today, choose to live at cause. Say to yourself, creating my life with love, intention, and trust in the infinite is the direction that I want to go. It's the freedom I wish to feel. It's the philosophy I wish to embody. And it will take me to reality where I can let go of all the stories and truly live as the presence. And so it is. And we will anchor that in some prayer and treatment. I just ask you to take a big, deep breath as you're asking yourself, do I live from cause or do I live from effect? And knowing that the answer just reveals a new desire being birthed within you. That your mind is God's mind right here, right now. That God is, the universe is, the answer and the question. It is reality, always unfolding. There is always something going on. And I know today that those thoughts are my thoughts. That as Tracy subsides and yields to the feelings and allows them to pass through, that I know this is for you as well. That as we just let the story pass through and we let the feelings come up and flow out, that we recognize that we are the presence, that it becomes us. That the characters we play become a distant past memory that shows up to move and its way through the world. But the presence has its way with us. It is that which has its being in us, and it moves our humanity. It brings and yields self-compassion and self-love so that we may energize and magnetize at that level to all that we meet. That we meet each and every discomfort with the love of the universe that you already are. And we just lay it down and we just ask, make my mind your mind. Take my thoughts and cast them to the wind and replace them with only that which is present and new, so that I may move as that beingness always, meeting each discordant fact and allowing it to dissipate into the nothingness that it is. That I easily, with comfort and grace and ease, know my truth of being. And I celebrate it as I see children playing and the flowers blooming and the sun is shining, and that there's so much glory going on in the reality of the universe, that I no longer turn my attention to the painful fact, and I move my face to the sun as it shines on me, and I see that there is beauty, there is joy, there is peace, and that is who we truly are. I release this truth into the law, knowing that it is the truth for everyone in this room and everyone on this planet. That as we move into the great awakening, that there are so many gifts to help humanity reveal the peace and joy and love that we already are. Casting them into the wind, knowing that the law has it, I invite you to say with me, and so it is.
Well, we let the love
time in service where we talk about giving, and we invite the ushers to circulate, and you can share as you wish. We always truly appreciate all the gifts of spirit that you share with our community. It allows us to bring to you the teachings of Ernest Holmes and all of his great work, and those of others as well. Please read this affirmation with me, loud and proud. Affirmations reorganize our subconscious mind, and it allows us to let go of those, effects that we live from. And it just has its own way. It just gets in there like an earworm and does its work. So say it with me. Divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive. Thank you, life.
Love is gentle as a rose, and love can conquer any war. It's time to take a stand. Brothers and sisters, join hands. You've got to let love rule. Let love rule. You've got to let love rule. Let love rule. Love transcends all space and time, and love can make a little child smile. Can't you see? You can't go wrong. We've got to be strong, yeah. Can't do this alone. We've got to let love rule. Sing it with me now. Let love rule. Come on. Let love rule. Two more times. Come on now. Let love rule. Oh, it sounds so beautiful. One more time. Do you mean it? Let love rule.
I think I have my next talk title. Thank you, Sky. I love getting a good dose of Sky's music. Isn't it wonderful? I love when you're here. Yay, Sky. We love, love, love when you're here. Our community loves you. Can I get it any clearer than that? Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, okay. And this is the time. Let me get that one. Thanks, Jackson. And this is the time that I invite our beautiful ushers that are, hello, Miss Pam. Thank you for your service today. And we just know that the source of all is because we are the source of all, that the infinite spirit, the beauty of life, the joy of spirit to give unto itself is completed here today with the gifts of spirit, time, talent, energy, love. that it is all God, it is all good. And we are so deeply and profoundly thankful for the givingness of this community, for those outside these walls, those that come to visit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Life. Thank you, God. We appreciate and love. I cast this into the wind knowing that it can only return more for all of us. And so it is.
So it is.
Now, Miss Kathleen. Look, we match too.
What do you say after that? If you are here for the first time or you're returning after being away for a while and you're comfortable, we'd love to get to know you if you are new and returning. So we ask you to stand and tell us your name. Yes. Naomi. You're Naomi.
Hi, Naomi.
Welcome, Naomi. Lisa.
Oh, Lisa.
Louise. Wonderful, thank you. Yes. Doug and Karen, all right, welcome. Wonderful to have you. Anybody else? Okay. Well, today after service, please stop by the bookstore and find a gently read, much-loved book in a section. Take it as your own and enjoy the read, and then follow the fragrance of coffee to Sibley Hall for conversation, yummies, coffee, and you get to introduce yourself to other members, and we get to know you. On Sunday, February the 2nd, Reverend Tracy will facilitate a workshop on supply. The workshop will be immediately after service, and the booklet she asked you to read before February the 2nd is in the lobby next to the sign-up. Please take one if you are attending the workshop. Next Sunday is the last Sunday of the month, now known as Salad Sunday. So whip up your favorite salad and bring it in to share and enjoy the salads of others. The first annual family meeting is to be held on Sunday, February the 23rd, from 12:15 until 2:30 in Sibley Hall to discuss the mission statement, vision statement, values. Reverend Tracy and Reverend Sue will facilitate, and we as CSL community will also be involved. Sub sandwiches will be provided, so please bring beverages and chips to share. The Compassionate Support Group will meet once a month, the first Sunday of the month, from 12 to 1:30 in the sanctuary, and a love offering would be appreciated. Calling all volunteers, tech wizards, PR gurus, cheerful greeters, and more for a very special event on Saturday, March the 8th from 3 until 6 p.m. at CSLP. The spirit of creative genius, conversations that inspire, questions that ignite. Live stream, listen up, listen in, podcast and wine and cheese reception with local Hopi artist Fillmore Kiwaniyama. Be prepared to sign up next week after service, and if you have any questions concerning this, please see Sabrina Johnson or text her. Excuse me? Oh, sign up today too. After service, in the lobby. Got it. And one last item. Today is our practitioner of the day's birthday. So Sharon, happy birthday. And let's welcome the children from the Association of Awesomeness.
So, hi. So today we talked about cause and effect and how where one thing causes something that creates an effect. And then we played a couple of fun games and played with Play-Doh. Like,
And what was the
but
effect?
also these two played a catapult game. And they were affecting each other's castles with the effect of the cannonball.
You caught my drift. Thank you.
Yes. Do you want to say?
So before we went on stage, we played a Disney game where we find stuff and we take turns.
You say hi? Esty, say hi. No? Say hi. Esty.
Hi.
Can you wave?
She's a good waver.
Say hi.
Waver.
She's like,
Yeah. The best cause and effect are 1-year-olds with a catapult game.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Our kids are growing. Yay! I just wanted to add really quickly, Sabrina's event is the artist is coming and she's going to interview him here and he's going to display his art through the sanctuary. We're going to have wine, cheese, and crackers. So it's a full event that we need volunteers for. Just to clarify that a little bit more. And we do have a sign-up sheet, but I needed to tweak it a little bit. So that will be out there for you. You can see Sudra to sign up. And it's going to be a wonderful event that benefits our community. Thank you. Thanks, guys. All right. Woo. Breathing in. There we go. Everybody's standing. They know their role. Yay. Here we go. Say it with me, loud and proud. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is happening through my mind, my body, and my affairs. I think it, I believe it, I feel it, I know it, I accept it. Thank you, life.
Yes, there is peace